picture, and I told him immediately, oh, it would be great to have a copy of that in our university here in Rome, because it would be a mean of evangelization. And time went. And in the year 2004, Pope John Paul II appointed us to be responsible of the Notre Dame property in Jerusalem. The Holy See has a beautiful property there in Jerusalem, some of you know already. And he asked us to take the responsibility of managing the whole thing, including not just the pilgrims, but also a school of cooking and hotellerie for the Palestinians, and a cultural center, etc. And we arrived there in November 2004. And when I was coming back from the chapel, those of you who know already the chapel, Crusader-style chapel, I told myself in the atrium, oh, it would be perfect here, a copy of that sculpture. Well, next time I went to Rome, I called the sculptor and said, excuse me, how much will be the price for 2 copies of the Man of the Shroud? And he told me, well, a little more than 40,000 euros. Okay. Oh. Then we are in 2005. I went to Spain and visiting one guy I knew. I asked him, can you tell me some foundations or people I may ask collaboration for getting this money to buy 2 replicas of the sculpture? How much is it? Well, something more than 40,000 euros. Okay, don't worry, I give it to you. Oh, good. So the problem was solved. And let's move to the summer. And at that time, being the provincial for France, with all the religious, we were having vacations in the north of Italy, so very near to Turin. And I told him, I told myself, well, I will visit the museum of the Shroud, because I knew that they had one, in order to get ideas, because I thought, if we put just the sculpture, it will not work, because people will not understand why this, where does it come from, etc. We need at least a facsimile of the Shroud, and let's see how is the museum. So I arrived to the museum, and I saw a poster, very pedagogic, explaining the whole idea, and I thought, we have to put a copy of that. And then things began to, we can add this, and then we can add this. And that evening, I picked my phone and called her. She was in France. Martin, you have to come to the Holy Land and help me to do an exhibit. And well, I have to recognize that she has been since 2004 very generous, because she left. She has a doctorate in economy, and also she is notar, and she has a master in architecture. So she has been working in the Louvre Museum in Paris, and she left everything for the cause of Christ. So, and I asked her to come to the Holy Land and help me to do this first exhibit. And when she arrived, little by little, we realized together that we had to add this poster and another, and she will explain right now the whole idea, the content of the exhibition. So we were ready to open the year 2006, the first one, the day of St. Mary Magdalene, 22nd of July 2006. And then I went to Rome for some months, and I told myself, well, here in the university it would be a good point to open also, since I had already the copy of the sculpture, let us do another copy of the exhibition, as it is in Jerusalem. And then from Rome, we got the idea of making another one in Mexico, but there were problems, so we had to wait. And also in Fatima, in Portugal, but there were problems and we had to wait. So, to make the story short, the next one was, meantime, in Brazil, at the beginning in Curitiba, and then they moved to Rio de Janeiro, and it will be installed at the end of this year, definitely in Curitiba. The year 2010, in the month of February, after many difficulties, we opened in Sacramento, and then from Sacramento, so at that time it was Jerusalem, Rome, Brazil, Sacramento, and then we opened in Portugal, in Lisbon. And then after we opened, that was the fifth one. The next one was what? Holland. Yes, in Holland in the April last year, month of April. And then in September we did the first move for Mexico, as we are doing this now. The methodology is to go to the place, see the local, if study and decide if it is good or not, and then to do the conception of the exhibit, prepare, and then open. So we went to Mexico, did the first visit, but meantime we have done the same thing in Krakow in the month of June. So in October, last October, we opened in Krakow, and then the one in Mexico, it was inaugurated in December. So with those we have 8. And so the San Antonio will be the 9th, and the program is after to open in Medjugorje, in Beirut, for those who know Lebanon, in Notre Dame, Harissa. It will be a place very good also of evangelization, even for the Muslims, because many of the Muslims go to that shrine, and also in Manila. Why who's the man of the shroud? Question mark, because we realized that the new evangelization is the proclamation of something, and we present something, and is it as in the time of Jesus, we will see after with more details, we have to just proclaim, announce the gospel, announce the truth, and let the people decide. But now I introduce Martin.